Okay, sorry, I had to go and cook my dinner, but we are back to this. So we're going to stamp these while we have them here. If I can find the stamp. They're in here. Goodness. So we're going to stamp 4 of the bows. And I want to look at it because it doesn't say what color we're stamping the bows in. And it goes, they're on project 4, and those bows are in Candy Apple. That's the pigment one. We don't want that. So I'll go back to our instructions here where we can see that. Okay. And the gift for you is on project number 2. So we look at project number 2. Okay, they did some masking on here. So we're going to be doing some masking. So what they've done, let me show it to you. They've done a gift. Oh no, it's not masked. Oh, that's project 3. Project 2, they did a gift and you in the black. And 4 is in Candy Apple. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to grab some Post-it notes. If I can figure out how to open them. I have some other ones that are open, but they're just not very sticky. And these are super sticky, it appears. So I'm going to put these right on that line, so we only get the word 4. And then I'm going to stamp. You're going to get ink all over your Post-it here. And that's perfectly okay. And I'm just pushing them down so that they stick to the block too. Well, this is going to be very messy. So now if I stamp this, we're going to get the red all over. So we're going to take these off and stamp 4. And I did get some on there. I made a mistake, but we're going to go with it. We're going to put these back on. I'm just going to grab more because those have lost their sticky. Just making sure I have no red ink on here again to make the same mistake. And I did. And I'm still just going to go with it because the black is more than likely going to cover that up and it won't be an issue. Now, because I keep doing that, I'm going to just put this down so none of my red ink gets anywhere that I don't want it. And this is the last one. We have masking tape. I just didn't feel like going to grab it. I have it. It works great. It's in a different tote that's not in here. Now, to stamp the rest in black, we could do the same thing. Stamping the, or covering this and removing it each time, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just make sure this is clean and that no more of the red is coming off. So I'm going to have to clean it. Or I'll just use my finger. Why not? So to stamp this in black, I'm going to take a thin piece of washi tape and trim it down, and I'm going to cover each of these so the black ink is just going to get on this and I don't have to worry about my stamp and masking the stamp each time. You just don't want to go wider than the piece, or you're not going to get the full black piece because it's going to be coming off when we pull this off. Does that make sense? I hope it does here in a second if I'm not clear. I always just keep washi on my desk for stuff just like this. This seems kind of tedious now, but it is a lot easier than trying to mask that stamp each time. Okay. Now I'm going to use just regular black because we're not coloring. Except for I grabbed pigment black, and that's not what I want. So I need to clean this stamp set. So the pigment ink would work, but it takes forever to dry. And I'm just lining this up. So luckily this washi, I can see through it. So I can see where this red is. And I'm just lining this up on that. And I think I need to re-ink this. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my tweezers. And I didn't get it perfect. I got a little bit of black there. But I like it. Gives it a speckled, worn look. And I'm going to get these out of here before I make a complete mess. Because if you've followed me for a minute, you know I will. Okay, so that's our stamping there. I'm feeling, I know we're going to end up fussy cutting those out. And we can go to our assembly. I'll clean those in a minute. You have better things to do than watch me clean. Okay, so the first thing we need to do for project number 1 is we need to stamp our stockings. So like I said, we're only making one of each one of these. So we have this one. And this one. And it appears I'm missing some. Okay. So this one appears to be masked and colored. So it says paper French vanilla, inks, intense black, pine, color with colored pencils. And so I'm just going to stamp everything in the intense black. Except for this one will be the candy apple, and this one is black. So we have one stocking. Get some more blocks over here. No, I don't even have all my blocks in here today. Probably not wide enough. So that one is. I had a crop last weekend, and so they're still in my go bag. And this one is in candy apple. So there's our stockings for the first card. So I'm just going to go down the line here. We're going to take one of the pieces of pine cardstock, and they're going to have us stamp the words "Thinking of You This Christmas" on there. I seem to have lost my stamps. There they are. And I do typically have better blocks. You know what? I'm going to just do that. I'm going to double use this block. And that is stamped in black. And then, let me grab it. On the red, remember it said to get the glitter glue. So on one of the pieces of the thin black, we're going to put dots of the red glitter glue, and we're going to set that aside and let it dry. So that'll add a nice little sparkle. Going to take my tweezers and gently move this so I don't stick my finger in it, which is a likely thing I would do. Okay. The next thing it tells us to do is to I did that wrong, but that's okay. So I thought I had screwed up and I grabbed these two stamps from others, but that's okay. So I'm going to set those aside. I didn't need to stamp these right now. They will be stamped later. But on our, this was me jumping ahead. See, I do this. It's okay. We all do things. So here we're going to take this 3x, this is 3.5, I think, 3.5 by 3.5 square. And we're going to stamp the stockings and the hook for the stockings. It looks like the hook is in black. And I'm just going to try and center it visually. So I'm putting the middle one in first. And I don't want to be too far from the top. And I did not get that perfectly centered the way I wanted it, but it's okay. So now we're going to take the little stocking. And we're going to hang it off of the hook. And same with this one. And then it wants us to embellish this one with glitter glue as well. So right around here on these lines, I'm going to just put some of the glitter glue. And I'm going to do every other, I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but I'm going to go every other line. And I'm going to carefully move it to dry as well, somewhere. And while that's drying, we're going to grab those colored pencils I got out and color these stockings. I just ripped my thing, but I will live. We're going to use Fiery Red. Oh, that's on that one. So on these, we're going to use the Fiery Red, and these tell us the color. So we have Fiery Red, Pine Green. So just those two on this one. And I'm just going to color this initial one just like they did. The others, I'll probably change it up and do a little different, but so I'm going in heavy around the edge, and I'm going to lightly color in that sock heel and the toe. And then they did these little dots in green. They did the bow in red. And these little stars. This is a light color in. And then each line is a little darker. Super cute. This one, they did the lines dark. And then a light color in. And I'm not coloring all the way in. You know, it's not going to be solid. Down here is going to be more solid. These colored pencils are just fantastic. I have the original colored pencils we had, the watercolors, and those are great too. I'm just not a huge watercolor fan. These are a lot more vibrant. So now we're going to start assembling the card. I'm still letting those other pieces kind of dry. They're not all the way dried yet. So we're going to take one of the plaid. And down here it tells you the pieces. Like this was 1D, this is 1A. But I can visually see what it is I'm needing. Just put some adhesive on the back of this. And it says 3/8. I don't measure. I'm really bad, but I try to be better. I can't. It's not who I am. We're gonna need to leave that little strip here for the piece we put the glitter glue on. So I'm just gonna run some adhesive here so that I can just set it down and not have to touch it because I know it's not dry yet. And there's no way I could flip it over to get adhesive on the back. So I'm just pushing it down into that adhesive strip that I put there. And we're going to attach, this is 1B. It said attach 1A and 1B. I did attach prepared 1D with 3D foam tape. We haven't done that yet. And then 1C we already attached. So now we're just putting this piece down. I tend to jump ahead and not follow the instructions as they do them, but I get the same effect. And then we're putting this down with foam tape, but I need to stick that other stocking on there. So I know it's gonna pretty much cover this whole area. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm putting the adhesive down there because I'm sure it's not dry. And I'm going to just push it down into it between where I glitter glued. And then after this dries, I can then come back and add more So I can't flip it over. I should have put this on first. So I'm going to just carefully put some pre-cut foam squares on here. These are left over from our shaker cards. And I know people put, they'll run full strips. You don't have to. You're just using up more foam tape than you need. I know it's silly to tell you that since you buy it from us, but you don't, why waste it? And then it's time for one of our sprigs. It's going to go on here like so, because that's what holds our hooks. Now I would use my liquid glass, but it's out in the other room because I used it at my crop. So I'm going to just use some liquid glue. I have a new love for liquid glass. I've been using it a lot on my own personal projects. And it's a great adhesive. It's fantastic. And I should be using it on this, but like I said, it's out in the other room. So there we go. There is card one. And they go together really quick because you've already cut everything. Just be super careful not to smear your glitter glue until it is dry. So I'm going to set that aside to dry, and we're going to move on to number 2. So that's still my number 1. So I'm going to pick up my number 1 piece and put it back up out of the way so I don't get it mixed in. Okay, so we need another of the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card bases. This one's going to go this way. And let me get our number 2 pieces. So it says to take 2C, which is this piece, and it says embellish with glitter glue and allow to dry. And so it looks like what they did was they just ran a line of the glitter glue down the bottom. So we're gonna set that aside. I'm gonna need that stamp. So I'm gonna set it over there. Okay, then it says on the piece of French vanilla that we cut over here. Nope, not that one. Oh, this piece. We're going to stamp a gift for you in all black. I make a mess. I never am able to stamp without getting ink everywhere. I know I'm not alone. And when it's a big stamp like this, I kind of just rub it. Make sure I get good coverage everywhere. Make sure the ink on your fingers does not get on the piece you just stamped. I do that all the time too. And you know what? Okay, so what they did, and I did it harder, I was reading ahead. So they stamped it in black. And then they took, it appears. Nope. French vanilla, intense black. So this is deceiving. Oh, okay. So we did do it harder because I didn't read the instructions. So over here they have it stamped in black. Over here they have the 4 in red. But it's okay. We didn't have to do that whole masking thing that we did. And all they did, if I would have read the instructions ahead, is, I'm going to cut one of these out. They stamped the whole thing over here on this scratch paper in red and then cut out the 4. And then we're going to put it on there. This, the way I did it, I mean, it doesn't matter. I did it a harder way. So we live and learn together. So I didn't have to mask, is essentially what happened here. Then we're going to put some glue on the back of this. And put that right over the top. Then they took, I'm going to wait to do it, but they say to put the glitter glue on here, but I'm going to hold off on that. It says to stamp and do what I just did, and then embellish with glitter glue and allow to dry. I am going to wait to do that part until we've got it on the piece so that it's glued down and I don't have to worry about it. So we're going to take, I gotta find all of our pieces here. We have a black piece, and then we have, pencils in my way is what we have. This piece. So I'm making quite the mess. I'm clearing it off so that it's not so messy. So we're gonna put adhesive on the back of here. Then we're gonna put this black strip. And we're going to space it out a little bit. And then the piece that we put the glitter glue on, it's going to go in here. And because it's still wet, I should have waited and done this piece as well. This is going to go here. Then we take one of the red plaids, and it says to attach 2D to this with some foam tape. So first we're going to put this on here. We're going to put some foam tape on the back. Now I'm looking at this picture and I can see that the branch is going to go behind here. And because I have the foam tape, it's going to be impossible to reposition it. So I'm going to stick it down. And then I'm going to put this down and it's going to hold it in place. And then if I want, I can take some dollops of the liquid glue. And then we're going to have our dots. See, this is what I was trying to avoid. I totally messed that up. I should have stuck that piece down last. I'm going to redo this. And I'm going to put these here because I didn't learn the first time to do the glitter glue the absolute last. And I'm going to try and, I don't think I'm going to be able to remove as much of this as I can. Then we have our little stocking and a bigger stocking. And I am moving this out of the way before I mess it up again. You guys, this is why I do these. So you can see I screw it up all the time. And other consultants do too. We're not perfect. And it appears that they stamped both of these in candy apple. And I didn't clean these yet, so that's why I'm just stamping them onto a piece of scrap paper to make sure I don't get any black ink on them. Now we're going to color the stockings. Back to our fiery red. I'm assuming I should read. And pine green. So again, they did the dark. I think these stockings are so cute. One thing I love about these kits is, I mean, and you're saying I'm doing things different. I keep screwing things up. But you can. And you can make them your own. And I typically do that. So these ones I'm trying to follow the instructions. But I mess things up and I do things differently. And then they're not identical to the others that I'm going to make. Because I'm going to color the other ones different than what I'm doing now. And then they're not going to look identical to something else that, you know, somebody else may make as well. If, you know, so then they're unique to me. Just never feel like you have to do it exactly like the instructions show. This is great. They're beautiful as they are, but if you want to change them up, do it. And, 'cause, And it looks like they put some green up in here too. Now, I'm going to do something here. They say to put these on with foam tape. So I'm going to do that. That one's too big. And then carefully, I said carefully and I did it again. So I'm going to cover that with something because I keep screwing up that exact same spot. Slide that under a branch. I can't believe I keep doing that, you guys. I am a mess. Third time's a charm. I don't play with this glitter glue enough to remember to not touch it. I need to be better. And now I can't get the backing off of this. Can't get the backing off and then you throw it on the floor. Try my tweezers. Okay. And carefully slide this one under this branch. And then it says to embellish with this glitter glue. So I'm turning it so I don't mess it up. And I'm going to put some in these, in each of these. Some down here. Okay. So now before I screw this one up anymore, I'm going to set it over here to dry. But it's cute without my mess ups. And then we move on to card 3, but I want to pick up the other pieces for my card 2 so I can complete this later. So if you've learned anything from me, add the glitter glue last. Don't follow the instructions on that one. Okay, card 3. We will not be touching the glitter glue until the very, very, very end. Okay, card 3. A 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're going to stamp one of these. I'm going to get the pieces we need here. I have a red one and they have green ones. So we're going to just do it my way. And so there's this stocking that I already pre-stamped, remember, because I screwed that up. And we have a black piece and a red triangle. One of those, and one of these, and one of these. So maybe I won't mess this up this time. So they stamp a gift for you in pine. So again, I haven't cleaned my stamp. I'm just going to stamp it off, make sure that it's fine. I'm going to grab my pine ink. These are our new ink colors. And I do have them, I just am not sure where I put them. Oh, pine might not be. Is pine new? I don't know. Willow, avocado, clover. So pine should be new, and I'm not finding it. Bear with me. Okay, couldn't find my pine. It is one of our new colors, but I found it. So now I'm going to ink this in the pine. I almost screwed it up. And then it says, ink this in intense black. We did. Color with colored pencil, pine green. So we're going to color this real quick. And embellish with glitter glue. We're going to wait to do that till the end, because we know I cannot be trusted around the glitter glue. So we're going to put the pieces down. So it's going to be like this. You ever have those days where everything you just seem to mess it up somehow? And that's what I feel like I'm doing right now for you guys. I feel like I'm screwing this up. So we attach 3A, we attach 3B, and then it says attach 3C, which is this piece. And then it says dovetail and attach 3D. So easy dovetails, you just cut down the center and then from corner in, and then you'll get perfect dovetails every time. And it says attach 3D. Okay. And attach 3E with 3D foam tape. So we know this and this are going to, excuse me, are going together. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm kind of jumping ahead. And then we will attach the 3E with the foam tape. And then it says to attach prepared stocking accent with 3D foam tape. Do not use adhesive along the top left corner so other pieces can be tucked underneath. So I'm just going to stick a piece in the middle. That's all we need. And 3E is our zip strip that we did, and we're going to attach that with foam tape as well. I'm going to find some narrower ones. And then we're going to you know, this wasn't with foam tape, but I put foam tape on there. That's fine. I read 3E. It's the black piece, but we're fine. The foam tape actually looks cute. Embellished with sparkles. We will come back to that. Well, we might as well put them on now. And then we are going to put our sprigs underneath. And again, I'm going to use the liquid glue for this. And I'm just going to put it on the bottom and let the top of it be free to move around. Now we can come back with our glitter glue and add the fun little embellishments that they have. Starting up top. I'm doing them all different lengths. Some are longer, some are short. And I'm going to put some on here as well. And I think that is it. Card 3 went together much better than the other two. Still got to let it dry, and I almost stuck my finger in it. But there is card number 3. These are so cute. And then card 4 is a slimline. So here's our pieces for card 4. So we're gonna have this, and one of these, and this, and this. And I gotta find all my stockings. And that's one of the longer stockings. And then we have some leaves up there. I'll grab those in a second. So it says prepare pieces shown above. Okay. So we're gonna dovetail this. And we're going to stamp this. This one is getting stamped with 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. And I think I have used all my long ones. It's in the other block. So I'm grabbing a block that is way too big for this, but it will work. It's only stamping one right now. And then it is stamped in pine. I didn't get it inked very well. I can see some so cute. And then I don't know if it's going to have us foam tape that or not, so I'm going to set that up there. We're going to color our stocking after we stamp it. We're going to stamp this in pine. We're going to color it. Color with colored pencil pine, embellish with glitter glue, and allow dry. Well, we're not glitter gluing. We know that. Just lightly coloring in these things. And then we're going to come back with the glitter glue later, because we all know I can't be trusted with that. And then it says to cut out one of our little bows, if I can find the piece of paper that I stamped those on. I know they're over here in the corner somewhere. And you know what? I'm not going to try and look for them. I'm just going to stamp another one. I have plenty of scrap. And then it tells us to color with the colored pencil. And then it says to hand trim. Oh, I need to color in here lightly. I am not a fan of the fussy cut. This is why I love thin cuts so much. I'm leaving a border because I'm not going to be that detailed. And then we're going to assemble. So it says prepare the pieces. We've done that. So then it says attach 4A to 4B. Oh, 4A and 4B. So this is 4A and this is 4B. So it's a little bit down from the fold. And then we have 4B. And then it says attach 4C and 4D. So this is our 4C. And it's very narrow. So I'm going to use my narrow. That's empty. So we won't use that. I'll just get some liquid glue. And then after 4C, it says 4D, and this is 4D. We have a cute little woven pattern going there. And then it says attach prepared 4F to 4E, and this is 4F and 4E. Then we're going to mimic that dovetail. Which is pretty easy to do because we have a line to follow now. And then it says attach 4E with 3D foam tape. And I knew one of this was going to have foam tape on it. I just didn't know how they were going to do that. Sometimes I put it on the piece on front. And then it says attach prepared stocking accent with 3D foam tape. Now we haven't put our glitter on here yet, so it's gonna look a little pale right now, but we know I can't be trusted. Then we're going to grab some of our sprigs. Going to just use this liquid glue. And I'm not putting the exact sprigs. I just grabbed some that I had sitting here on the table, and I will cut more because remember I screwed those up. Now we can add, oh, the bow. We forgot the bow. Gotta have the bow. Okay, now we can add the glitter glue. So they ran a line of it between here. And then we put some on here. And there is card 4. So see, the assembly is much easier when you don't stick your finger in the glitter glue. But there's card 4. I hope you like these. I hope you'll get this kit before they sell out, because everything tends to sell out because everything is just so beautiful and so popular. And come back, make it with me if you didn't make it with me right now. If you have not yet, click subscribe. Do that because, well, I'd appreciate it. And then you're bound to find me making some crazy mistakes. I just about stuck my thumb in that right now. I'm just going to walk away and let this dry, and then I will crease it and make it pretty. But thanks for watching. I hope you will click that subscribe button and come back next week. We're going to be doing the Christmas, I don't know what it's called. It's the scrapbooking workshop that complements this card making workshop. And I will not be so spazzy with the glitter glue if there's any in there. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening.